Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Bear with me 1 second here. Bear with me 1 second here, folks. Look at my hair. I don't know if I can go on with the show with my hair looking like this. Okay, so welcome to the show, everyone. I am just kind of going through a few things here. If you could just let me know in the comments section here if you can hear me loud and clear, that would be wonderful. To appreciate it. All right. All right. So let's get on with this. Looks like there's about 4 of you guys here. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Here we go. Okay. So here we are. Let's talk about Bitcoin and the direction it's going, and then we'll just kind of go over all the favorite cryptos. It's like we got Chris in the house. Thanks for tuning in, man. I'm doing well, doing really good. Thanks for asking. Hope everyone else is doing good too. Falioni, Ronald. Looks like we got a bunch of people up in the house tonight. So big shout out to Arctic and KV, Emmanuel. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Let's get on to whoopsies. Let's get on to Bitcoin, huh? Because actually, you know what? We're going to start with this total crypto market cap here. And this is what I really like to look at with this total crypto market cap. For now, it's appearing that we are going to kind of avoid this head and shoulders pattern. I mean, it's not really guaranteed. However, you know, in the last week or two, we have gotten a pretty nice backbone and some support here. For the total crypto market cap, currently we're trading at just under 1.8 trillion, guys. So this is huge. And we are really ending or coming to a significant squeeze point right now. So we can see that this trend line here is likely to be some sort of test right around this 1.845-ish trillion dollar level. We broke out of this symmetrical triangle to the upside. The last video I was kind of talking about how we have this very thin Ichimoku cloud, which is a very awesome thing to see because that means price action can easily hop up on top of it, and then we can set up in some bullish pattern to boot. Now, the one thing that I'm liking here is that on this daily chart, at least, we can see how this 50 moving average is really starting to kind of curve like this, folks. And I do think that we are going to see a bunch of liquid get dumped into the crypto market here. And I do think that we might be seeing the beginning stages of a run up to around the 2.15-ish trillion dollar mark. So to put that in perspective, I mean, that's really a good, I don't know, few hundred billion from here. So that's not bad. That's not bad. So we're going to see some coins rise here. And if we can get some sort of upward momentum like we had here back from last July to November, man, I think we'll be sitting really, really good to maybe come up and test this $3 trillion market cap soon. So that's kind of where we're at with the total crypto market cap for now. Just want to just see one thing here quick, guys. And what we can see here is that from last summer's lows up to November's highs, we can see that the 786 has held very strong. And this is a very powerful retracement and support level. the 786, and on the daily we've triple bottomed this over the course of about a month, just over a month. Hopefully I don't have spaghetti sauce on my face. Let's see here. We'll just look at these comments. What's going on with YOKA? We'll check into that here in just a second. But yeah, I think things are looking good. On to Bitcoin. Oh my goodness, I'm having technical difficulties here, folks. Where's Bitcoin here? There we go. So right now, Bitcoin is still testing this symmetrical triangle squeeze that I pointed out in the last video I did. So if we do get a rejection here, it's not the end of the world. I'm anticipating tests within this symmetrical triangle to move forward at least for the next 4 days, quite possibly till Sunday's close. If Bitcoin rejects at this upper trend line of this symmetrical triangle squeeze, this is going to be a dang tragedy. Because we really need Bitcoin to come up here to this $46,000-ish level, somewhere in there. If that does happen and we continue to see these lows keep getting higher and these highs maintain about this 45.5, 45.6, we are seeing an ascending triangle form. That's what this lower trend line is here, folks. So it is what it is. So Dre, what's up, brother? Is there a fib time sequence on Bitcoin? Well, that's interesting. I would assume we could probably get some sort of time sequence to appear in here, maybe based off this swing high to this swing low, or this swing low to this swing high. So let's just go ahead and see if we can throw up a little time sequence. And sure enough, there is a little time sequence that showed up right around this ending of this symmetrical triangle. And what happens when, whoopsies. Okay, so that just changed a little bit of things here. So now, what is going on with these charts, folks? Here we go. Let's try one more thing here. I'm liking this up to here. I mean, we could almost make the argument that this last example that I just drew up might be something here. It predicted a reversal point right down here, somewhat of a reversal point here. So March 16th, March 15th. Yeah, there is a little bit of a reversal that happened here. The next time sequence that's showing up is April 19th based off this trend line here. So, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But there is an indicated shift in momentum here via time sequence with Bitcoin. So this thing, in my opinion, this thing is quite possibly making this ascending triangle happen. Now, when I was talking earlier about how if we don't break through this upper trend line, guys, that's going to be bad. Because what does that actually mean? Well, I mean, I think we'll have more of a bear flag than anything else. And that might really indicate another downward continuation of price action. I hope it doesn't happen. It could. I'm just saying we need to break above 41,000 and trade above that just till Sunday. Till Sunday. I want the weekly close to be above like 41-ish thousand dollars. So, excuse me. Yeah, thanks, man. I've been doing really good, so I do appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. I think we go green until April, man. Yeah, I mean, we very well could. We very well could. Let's take a quick peek at the Bitcoin dominance here. Now, Bitcoin dominance on the daily chart is slowly rising, and we can see that this is in some sort of almost like a bull flag, or a bull pennant for that matter. So we can see a nice bull flag pull. I'm not really seeing much of a rising wedge. I mean, this is kind of more like a channel pattern, in my opinion. But I suppose if somebody is really trying to, yeah, I'm just not really getting the rising wedge feeling here. You could make the argument that there's a rising wedge here on dominance, but I'm just not seeing it. But right now, it does look like Bitcoin dominance is trading in this channel upwards. So, this is good on this daily. This is great because we are seeing a golden cross that happened and is holding. And I do think that this symmetrical triangle squeeze will produce some positive results here. I just want to look at the Bitcoin dominance level on the weekly chart. Getting back to that whole bear flag thing that I was just talking about on Bitcoin, there might be some sort of, I mean, there's almost a little bit of a falling wedge here, but this could also be some sort of bear flag, which might indicate a continuation of the previous pattern. Right now, price action on Bitcoin dominance is testing this 50 moving average. So, I mean, it is what it is. I do think that Bitcoin has a solid chance of maybe breaking through that. As far as the Bitcoin dominance side of things goes, we can see how it broke through this really thick part of the Ichimoku cloud in August of 2018. The one thing that worries me about this situation, though, with this cloud here, is that this is a thick cloud. Price action's really going to have to work hard to get through this this bearish Ichimoku cloud. So, I mean, it is what it is. Let's move on. Here's ETH. A lot of these cryptos are just kind of, they're all in this same rhythm. We're seeing this across the board, even on the weekly chart here with Ethereum. We have this symmetrical triangle squeeze that is happening. The one thing I don't like about this really is on the weekly, how high above this 50 moving average, or how high this 50 moving average is above this 200 moving average. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I'm hoping this thing doesn't come crashing down to this 200 moving average, which would be right around this $1,250 level. Really, it's a 50% price cut from here if we can't rally the support. Let's see what we got. Thank you, KV. If you guys could hit that like button, I truly appreciate it. More than you guys know. That's for sure. But let's look at Ethereum on this daily. Like I said, it's really in a very similar situation to Bitcoin, where we're seeing this exact symmetrical triangle, really thin Ichimoku cloud. So the potential here to maybe run up to 3,500 is real. It's super real right now with Ethereum. So I think that there is that possibility if we don't get rejected by this trend line here. So I just want to go ahead and throw up a little Fibonacci here. Okay, so in an extension situation, I do think that if Ethereum takes off, we really got to watch Ethereum right around this $3,513 level. So, I mean, it's things are just looking bullish across the map, at least for a little run here. I'm not completely sold that that things are in the all clear. For a lot of you guys, Christian says CKB, you got it. Let's look at CKB right now. This is a chart that I've just kind of left off with. And what we can see is I was kind of predicting a little bit of a turnaround here. And it looks like CKB has resisted this trend line here, which is great news. We can see that there is this 50 moving average, though, that needs to really kind of start curving and really start to bring this price back up. So I think once we start to see this 50 moving average just slightly curve up or curve horizontal, we may see CKB rush right up to about this 0.0128, 0.013-ish level. That wouldn't be of no surprise to me. Whether or not CKB rips through these levels is anybody's guess. If it does, we will definitely head up to retest this 0.0178-ish level. I don't know if any of you guys are staking CKB in the DAO or anything like that, but you may want to think about, if you're going to sell a little bit of it on this pump or not. For me as a CKB miner, I am averaging about 500 CKB per day, which is awesome because I'm dollar cost averaging at all these different levels, 500 CKB a day. Like that's an amazing thing. So I am going to just do one thing here. So if CKB does get the bounce, I definitely think we will see some resistance around this 0.016-ish level, 0.0198, 0.02. We'll just kind of stop there. But if this thing drops off and breaks this little ascending triangle that could possibly be forming, we're looking at 0.007. And if we really break down through this trend line here, folks, everything in this bull run for CKB will be lost. And that would be a dang tragedy. So, let's see, RC ADE fan, arcade fan. Do I see CKB anywhere near the dollar level in the future? I mean, it really is in the near future. I don't see CKB at a dollar in the near future at all. Just being honest with you, I think that CKB definitely has the potential to reach a dollar at some point in time. And I think that it possibly will. But we have to think that, for CKB to hit a dollar, we're going to need a $28 billion market cap. So I'm going to bring up CoinGecko here. And let's just look at cryptocurrencies here via market cap. So for CKB to hit a dollar or right around a dollar, let's just go to like 75 cents to a dollar. We're going to need CKB to be a top 10 cryptocurrency. And right now we've got a bunch of garbage kind of floating around the top 10 to the top 15, 20, cryptocurrencies. This is garbage. Solana is absolute trash compared to what CKB can do. But yet it's sitting at a $28 billion market cap. Right at this time, CKB or Nervos Network could quite possibly have more functionality than Cardano. And you see Cardano sitting at a $26 billion market cap. Now, you guys also have to keep in mind that this is at a Bitcoin market cap of $776 billion. So we're used to seeing Bitcoin at like 1 trillion. I do think that we'll see a $2 trillion Bitcoin, so on and so forth, possibly within the next year or two. So when we start adding extra trillions into the crypto market, really, I think that the potential for CKB to really rise maybe up into the top 25 to top 15 within the next few years is totally doable. One thing, for example, Shiba Inu. I mean, Nervos is way better than Shiba Inu, right? And we all know it. Everybody knows it. Any coin below Shiba Inu is worth more than Shiba Inu, but it's sitting at a cool 12 billion. So we have to just ask ourselves, what's the one thing that all these coins have in common? They just have a big adoption, through social media, all that. I think half the people out there that own Solana do so because, their favorite crypto YouTubers have it and pump it. So, same with like Dogecoin. I'm kind of getting off the beaten path here, but it is possible in the next, few years, I would say. CKB, maybe, 25 cents. I'd aim for that first. But $1 is not off the table. Looks like NXTVL Tech bought a CK Lite today. That's all right, my man. Let me know in the comments section how much terahash that pumps out a day. I'm interested. Because I've got 6 CK boxes behind me, and I think it might equal out to be like the equivalent of a CK Lite, but I think the CK Lite is probably a lot more efficient. So we've got Arcade Fan. Also, has anyone heard about Voyager and rewards on CKB? I do know that it is on their minds. I'm pretty sure I heard one of the CEOs or something, a Voyager or somebody higher up there talk. I think it was Steve. He was talking about CKB one day, but it is what it is. It's tricky because in order for Voyager to really give rewards with CKB, they will need to keep quite a bit of it in the Nervos DAO, where they could earn, just under 3%. So I don't think they'd go any higher than 3%. They may go 3% even and try to beat out the Nervos DAO for rewards. But, the problem is that if with the Nervos DAO, your coins are locked up mandatory for 30 days. You have to wait 30 days to withdraw them from the time you deposit. Now, if there's a big exodus, people are trying to sell a lot of CKB for whatever reason, and it's all locked up in the DAO. That's kind of just setting up for a little doomsday scenario. So I think that they are really trying to work it out and try to figure out how they can do that, because they definitely want that appeal. What are my thoughts on HBAR? You know what? We can look at that. Why don't we look at HBAR on the charts? I used to do a lot of HBAR, guys. When I first started doing crypto on TikTok, I did a lot of HBAR. And it's been a while. So let's just take a peek at HBAR. Fundamentally, I'm not the guy to be talking about their accomplishments or failures or what they've got going on, for that matter. I'm just being straight up with you guys. But when it comes to the charts, we can most certainly take a quick peek. All right, so let's get in with this. So right now, HBAR is looking good. Up until recently, you didn't see a lot. Well, I should say, this is the first coin up until recently where, I've seen it's still kind of holding above the coronavirus, February, March 2020 lows that the market experienced. So to see HBAR here thriving above this trend line is crazy. So this is great. HBAR is doing a banger right now. So HBAR, unfortunately, like the rest of the market, has been suffering, but we are seeing somewhat of like the rest of the market. We could make the argument that there might be some sort of symmetrical triangle squeeze here. I do think that if HBAR fails here and we lose the bottom on this, and I'm going to talk about something with HBAR here in just a second, this thing's going to visit the 13.5 cent to 15 cent levels. In my opinion, whether or not that holds is anybody's guess. And that's the worst case scenario for HBAR. So within the next few days, I think HBAR is setting up quite nicely for a little run to the upside, quite possibly. Like I said in earlier on in this podcast, if we see this market start pumping, HBAR possibly could come up to this 22-cent level, but then if it really thrives, this thing's going to come right up to this 200 moving average, right around this 30-cent level. So we'd be looking at about a 50% increase from here, which is halfway decent. Let's just look at this here. And it's interesting to see that this 38.2% Fibonacci extension is almost parallel with the 200 moving average. So this 30-cent level is going to be a doozy for HBAR if we break to the upside. Look for some resistance also around that 24-cent level to the upside. So that's HBAR. Let's see what we got here, guys. Clout. Let's see. Okay. So 6 terahash at 1200 watts. Not bad. That's not bad at all. That's about what I'm getting with these 6 CK boxes. Is that each box, I think, runs about 215 watts and it cranks out about a terahash. So, yeah, I mean, you could see that, I think that that your miner might be a little bit more efficient. So that's cool. I'd love to get rid of all these miners and condense it down into one. That would be nice. Yeah, a lot of garbage floating up in the crypto market caps, things like that for sure. So what's my top 5 crypto? Well, my top 5 cryptos, guys, CKB, I'm going to say Voyager token. I like Sia coin. It's not really, it might be towards the bottom of my top 5. I like Ergo and I like Internet Computer. All those cryptos, not necessarily in that order. But if I had to choose my top 5 cryptos, those would probably be my 5 cryptos that I would kind of look into. I know if I could do like another couple more, Bitcoin, obviously, for more secure purposes. If ETH could get its gas fee situation solved, that would easily get to my top 5. No questions about that. I like Ethereum. I don't like the gas fees, even though I do trash Ethereum quite often on my Twitter page. It's all in good fun, but hey, gas fees are gas fees. Nobody likes paying high prices at the gas pump. I don't know why people continue to pay the high gas fees in Ethereum. It just doesn't make sense, does it? So we got that. So let me know in the live stream comments if you guys have any cryptos, and we'll just kind of take a peek at those. A lot of ADA holders around, so I do know that much. Cardano, I want to really look at this on a weekly, and man, geez, this thing has suffered so bad. Excuse me. TradingView is just going nuts. So, we had that $3 high. People bought at the top, folks. And then this thing just kind of tanked. So, with that said, Cardano has had barely 2 green weeks since September of 2021. So, Jay Watson, help. I'm trapped in 6 Figs basement. I can tell you, if you were trapped in my basement, you'd have all the whiskey and basically all the pizza you could ever imagine. So it might not be a bad thing. So we got crypto air porn in the house. Let me know if you want to come on the stream. If anybody in the comments wants to come in on the stream, I'd love to have you. All you got to do is have a camera and a microphone. So with that said, we're looking at Cardano right now, and I can remember Crypto Airborne. Oh, he's live streaming right now too. Oh yeah, that's right. So Crypto Airborne was one of the people that first told me about Cardano, and this was years ago. This is when Cardano was like 2 cents, 5 cents, somewhere in there. And I remember I didn't listen to him. And then he bought a crap load of it, and this thing took off. So you don't have to think too hard about how that turned out for him. So he did really well on Cardano, and rightfully so. He was early and recognized the superior technology behind it before everybody else did. So right now with Cardano on the weekly chart, we could see that there was easily, this is what I love to see in on charts. I love to see Elliott wave theory on the weekly chart, especially. Just goes to show you how nothing happens overnight, folks. I mean, look, this little climb went for over a year, almost a year, and that's just insane. But what we can see here is that there might have been some sort of ABC DE retracement that happened here. This might look a little bit weird on the charts, but you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. There very well could have been a little bit of an ABCDE corrective wave that is hit. So right now, I do think that Cardano is poised to possibly come up to the $1.70-ish level, somewhere in there, over the period of the next couple months. Like I said, nothing happens overnight, especially when we're looking at this weekly chart. So let's switch over to this daily. And like I was saying, there seems to be, we could make the argument here that, hey, somewhere down in here could be the end of all this suffering. What I want to do is throw up a little bit of a retracement here. Okay. I was kind of thinking if I measured this retracement from here to here, it seems to me that Cardano is kind of following this retracement schedule here, just based off the support and resistance it's having against some of these Fibonacci levels. So right now we do have Cardano coming up to retest this 177% level at about 87 cents. That's just my guess. But if we can see Cardano really start to turn its act around, I do think that this $1.06 is entirely possible. The one thing I'm not liking about this setup right now is that this 200 moving average is really beginning to follow the 50, and that's usually not a good sign. I like to see 50 moving averages come up and hit these 200 moving averages, especially on these larger charts, like the daily and the weekly charts, before this thing starts to curve downwards. Because I think that if if Cardano cannot pass through 87 cents, we will see a 58-cent Cardano. So it is what it is at this point in time. And I hate saying that. Cardano really has suffered tremendously. And I do think that it's worth more than 83 cents per ADA right now. I really do. I'm not holding Cardano at this moment in time. Perhaps I might start some sort of position once this thing turns around. I mean, really, this thing has cleared all levels of support from all of 2021. So it's kind of concerning a little bit to me. So we may end up seeing that 50-cent ADA, quite possibly, and I hope we don't. Let's see here. Let's take a quick peek at Band, right? So Elizabeth, the one and only. If you're down there in the comments, Elizabeth, let me know. I'll send you a link to come on live. But she turned me on to Band, and I have been kind of keeping my eye on it ever since. I do have a very small position in Band, like $100 worth. This is just one of those cryptos I think does have a little bit of potential. I don't know much about the project, so with that said, I do believe that this thing, I do believe that this thing is within some sort of falling wedge pattern right now. So I would totally expect Band to maybe come back up and test this $6.23 level ish, somewhere in there. If it breaks, maybe the $2.85 if we can hold this. Now let's take a quick peek at Voyager token. Let me know in the comments or the live chat. Oh man, Strika, what's up, brother? Good to see you here, man. I'm glad you're here. We're just taking a peek at. Thought you'd be finished. That's what she said, right? So here we have Voyager token, and back on about March 2nd, March 1st, somewhere in there, folks, I had made the prediction that we might just in fact be seeing this inverse head and shoulders pattern take place. Back here, I couldn't see any of this stuff going forward. And really, look what's happened. We have got the inverse head and shoulders that is happening. So I am bullish on Voyager token right now. And right now on this, we're looking at a 12-hour chart. We need Voyager token to really thrust up above this Ichimoku cloud here, which is a very thin Ichimoku cloud. And this is phenomenal. This is great. I'm bullish on Voyager. But we can see what happened. The last time, Voyager had a killer opportunity to pass through this thinner part of the Ichimoku cloud, and it didn't. There's a lot of other factors going on. A couple of weeks ago, March 1st, the Russian and Ukrainian conflict. We've got all of these other crazy financial events going on around the world. So even though Voyager might have been ready to start ripping, that definitely could have prevented it. So I think that Voyager token over the next few days is going to get interesting. Even here on the daily chart, I do think that Voyager token, if it can make it through this thinner part of the Ichimoku cloud, which I'm telling you guys needs to happen, this thing's going to come up and test this 200 moving average, which is right about this $2.60 level. So there is that chance. I just want to do one thing here. I mean, you could make the argument that $2.52 might be more of a psychological area for Voyager token to try and hit. And that makes sense because $2.50, I mean, that's just a good psychological number, right? So I like Voyager token. I hold Voyager token. I've recently sold just a little bit of it on these last few pumps, just to wait and see what happens to make sure that this doesn't break down into some sort of descending triangle, meaning it could break down like this. If that happens, the coins that I sold will be repurchased lower. But this thing goes up, you know, I won't be cashing those out because I sold them, right? So another one, folks, that I've really come to like is Internet Computer. So Jeff from Bitcoin Renegade, he put me on to Internet Computer and Dfinity and what they're doing. The whole idea of, if you know me and watch this channel, you'll know that I'm a big fan of decentralized internet. I like Coin. I like decentralized data storage. I like Nervos for that matter. So, Internet Computer is interesting because they are trying to build this decentralized internet, which is crazy. When you think about internet and how easily governments can unplug internet, it's super easy. We see it happen all the time. We see the censorship. We see all sorts of other garbage going on. So I naturally gravitate to this sort of thing. So I do hold ICP, and I did start a position on it within the last few weeks. After I did my own research, I'm telling you guys, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. But I might have some exciting news to share with you guys, hopefully soon. So I am attempting to work with Dfinity at the moment, and we'll see if I'm having some meetings with them, and I'm going to see if we can come to an agreement to maybe start cranking out some content for them. So with that said, that's exciting news. But ICP, it's available on Voyager. I hold a little bit of it on Voyager, but crypto.com is another place you can scoop up ICP. This is poised for a potential 2x, in my opinion. The way that this price action is kind of hanging in relation to this Ichimoku cloud, doubled by the fact that this thing's in this falling wedge. Just the position of the 50 moving average, when we start to see this thing start to just barely level off, we might see price action run right up to about this $19.17 level for a retest, quite possibly. If that happens, there's a long way to go up to this 200 moving average. So I think that we might see something, if ICP in this market can recover, there might be some sort of staircase climb up to around this $35 level. Again, it's not, I would like you to do your own research, but I think that this is a solid company. They do have about 400 million coins in circulation. I'm going to see if I still got there we go. It's ranked about number 39 in the total crypto market cap. So it's a top 50 coin. So that's nothing to scoff at. It's got about a $3.4 billion market cap. It's halfway decent. I do like this. So circulating supply of 212 million coins. That's not a lot at all. So the potential for this to squeeze and rise rather rapidly is there in price. So, I'll probably be doing a few videos on ICP just for the heck of it. And what Dfinity is doing down the line here. But it is very a very high potential in my opinion. So let's see what we got. That's what she said. That's what I said, but I'm finished. So all good. Yeah. So let's look at BTC ST review. What is that? If you could please elaborate on that. BTC ST. Let's do this though. Let's look at. See if Yokai is on here yet. Somebody did ask for Yokai swap earlier on, and bear with me 1 second. I'm going to pull up Avedex, and for you guys that are into Yokai swap, they can be found on Avedex. Bear with me. Here we go. Pull this up quick. So here is Yokai swap. For whoever it was, one thing I don't like about having to go to Avedex is that I have to put in these inputs every single time. So bear with me while I just get this chart set up. Oops, we'll need this on 200. There we go. And then my Ichimoku Cloud, folks, I need to get rid of the lagging span because I don't trade with the lagging span because I don't like it. And then let's go ahead. I'm going to change my baseline to blue because I like my baseline to blue. There we go. So right now, we can see that the Ichimoku Cloud for Yokai swap, it's on a little bit on the thick side here, but Yokai swap does seem to have found a little bit of a bottom. I need to get my Heiken Ashy candles on. So here we go. Let's look at the 4-hour chart because that's all we can look at, folks. So right now, this is a very important moment for Yokai swap because we have this 50 moving average meeting the 200 moving average. It really hasn't done this for quite some time. So I do think that we're going to get rid of this volume. So I do think that Yokai swap might very well be possibly setting up for some sort of golden cross. Now, one thing I'm noticing on this 4-hour chart here that I don't really like is the fact that, oh man, so that's why we got to get Yokai swap onto trading view. So we don't have to deal with all this stuff. There we go. One thing I'm not liking about this is the fact that this thing could be doing a head and shoulders pattern right now. And the reason I think this is strictly because you could almost make out a little bit of a neckline here. And if this thing does fail, we definitely might see Yokai swap come down for a double bottom retest of around this 7-cent-ish level, in my opinion. Right now, this potential for the head and shoulders is really the only thing that I'm noticing. I'm not really noticing any rising wedges or anything like that. And to be honest, I mean, really, this thing is trading on a very nice kind of trend to the upside. So there might even still be this possibility that Yokai swap meets this top right around this 9-cent-ish level, and we just might see it create some sort of ascending triangle and then take off. So I do think that Yokai swap, it's going to be interesting because if we do pull a reversal at this 9-cent level, we're going to really need to hold this trend line here to quash a head and shoulders pattern at that point. This is going to be interesting here, to say the least. Let's see. We are 53 minutes into this. So I think what I'm going to do is wrap this up, folks. I do appreciate every single one of you guys being here on this Wednesday night. I hope you guys are healthy and happy around the world, wherever you're at, whatever your situation is. Like I said, I do appreciate spending the time with you more than you know. So, with that said, folks, I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. And we'll see you guys all on the video tomorrow. I'm going to be cranking out a few different videos tomorrow, and we'll hitch up with that. Also, I went to the shooting range today, so hop on my channel. I don't know, I uploaded a video a couple hours ago. It was just my cell phone, nothing professional. It's like probably one of the lazier videos I did, but if you want to see me shooting silenced guns with suppressors and all that stuff, you can find that there. So we'll see you guys all on the flip side. Tell Crypto Airborne to get that rash cream because he's going to need it after this market tanks. I'm out.